The cornerback position to me is my favorite to evaluate. I love the cornerback position. I love this class. You should too. Let's get into it. Who are the best cornerback prospects in the 2022 NFL draft class going into the college football season? Of course, a lot can change, but here's some guys to keep your eye out for. If you're a Bro Scout tier member, you get my full list. I got a lot of guys. If not, here's my top 10. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy, Bro Schmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's go ahead, get into it. Let me go ahead and piss some people off. Joe, I got him at 11. I think that should just tell you how good this cornerback class is. Number 10, Mykael Wright out of Oregon. Right. I said White, but it's right. It wasn't right that I said white because it was right. Does that make sense? What a tongue twister. A bit of projection because this guy needs to add a little bit of weight. But this dude's just a ball hog. 11 pass breakups with an interception. He attacks the ball so well when it's in air. Over the last 2 seasons, he's only allowed a 45.6% completion rate. When targeted, he only allowed 1 pass for 30-plus yards. He has good speed. He does, again, need to add a little bit of muscle. As we saw, he committed 4 penalties last season, and they were all against 6-foot-plus receivers. So that would go a long way if you could get to that like 190, 195 mark. Number 9, Storm Duck. He should be the best cornerback in this class on name alone, but I like Storm Duck, man. He's been very productive. He's allowed a completion rate of 48.3% with 2 interceptions, 9 pass breakups. Doesn't necessarily have elite speed, but he just knows how to stay in the hip pocket of receivers. He's very good at reading receivers' eyes very well, and he always gets his head around for the most part to make a play on the ball. He had an okay game against Clemson in 2019. Bigger receivers do tend to give him trouble at the catch point sometimes. Injury really cut short what was beginning to look like a banger 2020. I'm just excited to see what's in store because this man, he can cover anyone despite not being having elite speed. And then number 8, Roger McCreary out of Auburn, very experienced with 1,375 snaps to his name. There we go. And guess what? Over 1,200 of those snaps are coming on the outside. I like this guy's length. I like his explosiveness. I wouldn't say his tools are elite by any means, but he's a very wise, he's a very savvy corner. He doesn't really struggle too much in coverage. The last 2 seasons, he's allowed 56 receptions for 707 yards, 6 touchdowns. That was all on 98 targets, allowing a completion rate of 57%. He's come away with 4 interceptions, 15 pass breakups. This dude plays the run exceptionally well. There are times where I would say he needs to play a bit more physical and press. Typically, he'll let guys off the line a bit prematurely when I think he could hold them there a bit longer. Number 7, Derion Kendrick. Clemson transfer. He's at Georgia. First and foremost, I want to address this. Let's talk about the problems, the character concerns. He had a drug and gun arrest that was preceded by him leaving Clemson. Out of nowhere, he just kind of left Clemson, and then bam, this pops up. Not great. It was an unlawful gun charge. To that, I'm typically, it is what it is, just because you see a lot when guys that, especially when they're crossing states, that the rules for the carry laws, they change. So it's like, okay, that typically is what it is. Unfortunately, this happened in his hometown. This just ended up being a boneheaded decision. With the possession of marijuana, not so much. That was just, there is no benefit of the doubt. That is just boneheaded, period. He was suspended for a game last season for unknown reasons. The one saving grace is that Dabo Sweeney really had nothing but nice things to say about Kendrick. But boy, he's got a lot to answer for during the offseason process. Now he moves to Georgia, where he's going to be playing a lot more press, and I think that complements his style very well. He is a very physical style of corner. He plays very well. He plays in the pockets, the hip pockets of receivers. You could go back to the Ja'Marr Chase back in 2019, the national championship, where I would say Kendrick played Ja'Marr Chase much better than his teammate AJ Terrell. Chase was still winning, but Ja'Marr Chase was a different type of animal. He was winning on everybody that year. Now, he tracks the ball very well. When it's in air, he locates the catch point very consistently. He did do much of those things last season, but it's worth wondering, will he be able to handle the burners of guys in the SEC? Because they got some speedsters out there. So I really look forward to seeing it, because last time we saw Kendrick, he was being toasted multiple times by Chris Olave. It was almost Chris Olave. That was a poor pun. Terrible attempt. But in that game, he gave up 105 yards. He gave up 122 yards, which that was all in one game compared to the 105 he gave up the whole season. So, like, the dude's got the ability. It's just, again, how he plays this year. The character concerns honestly might kick him out of the first round, though. Number 6, Martin Emerson Jr. out of Mississippi State. I love Martin Emerson. This dude shut down the SEC all year. He only allowed 33 catches for 306 yards, 1 touchdown. That was on 59 targets. He ended up the season with 12 pass breakups. I get it. This guy, he's not the speediest corner, but this dude has great length, great processing skills that really make up for it. Like, he's got that mentality of, hey, I'm going to put my hands on you. You're only going to be as fast as I want you to be. I like that. I like that Richard Sherman type of mentality there. He's consistently at the catch point. He only allowed a completion percentage of 55.9%. And under Zach Arnett, he's played a variety of different coverages. Like, he's very versatile in what he can play. Now, he was also one of the best tackling corners in all of football. He had 23 defensive stops. I'm hoping for a big year from Emerson. I'm a huge fan. He might turn out being one of the best zone corners in this class. You just wait. Let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest and the best place to go play fantasy football for big cash prizes. Ooh, wee. And let me tell you, Underdog, they got you covered. All you have to do is draft. No need to worry about injuries, waivers, or lineups. Underdog, they got you covered. So go online or use the app, which is pretty slick, and just draft a season-long best ball team, and they take care of the rest. No in-season management required. And they're willing to give you $25 when you sign up, so you can take a shot in their $1 million fantasy football tournament, or you can play in some other best ball leagues, or even make prop bets. Now, you get that free $25 on Underdog when you use the promo code BROSCHMO. It's free to sign up, so use promo code BROSCHMO. Bam, you get your $25 once you make your first deposit. So drop $1 in there, bam, you got $26. You big spender, y'all baller. But go ahead, support Underdog. It helps me out. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And if you're looking for more fantasy content from me, check me out on TikTok at BroSchmo. The link's in the description below. At number 5, Trent McDuffie, my first round corner. Trent McDuffie's got some great movement skills, aided by just how explosive this guy is when he decides to break. Also, taking into account this guy's tackling ability, only missed 2 his whole career. Not to have a bad. He is an ideal zone corner. I do worry about the long speed when he's forced to have to mirror guys, especially speedsters, but we'll see about that. He doesn't really try to put his hands on receivers during the route. I think part of that might aid him in man coverage, especially when he has to face those speedsters. Remember, I put my hands on you. You're only as fast as I say. You got to get a bit more handsy. Not so much to the point where you're, getting flagged for it, but you got to play a little physical. But this guy, he's very good. Like, I think part of the reason he doesn't get handsy is because he's got quick feet. He's good at mirroring guys, especially underneath and on the intermediate. I love the short area quickness of a guy like him. Again, I want to see more physicality in his play. Number 4, I got Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati. I love the sauce. I'm lost in the sauce. Top 15 prospect. I take him in the top 10. I ain't even lying. One of the best press man corners in all of college football. On 98 targets, he has yet to allow a touchdown. He has allowed a completion percentage of 40.8%. He has 6 interceptions, 14 pass breakups over the last 2 seasons. I like his physical brand. He's committed 12 penalties over the last 2 seasons. I don't love that, but you know what? I'd rather teach a guy to be less physical than having to teach a guy to be more physical. That's why I got him over Trent McDuffie. I love the length. I think he does need to put some mass on. Rumor is he has put some mass on. I like that. Doesn't have elite speed, but again, I'll put my hand on you. You're only as fast as I am going to let you be. Number 3, Andrew Booth Jr. Now, these 4 through 2 are so close. They're so close on my radar. Like, they're almost interchangeable at a point. Booth, he has a small sample size, only 333 snaps in 2020. He didn't start many games, but he did see plenty of action last year. No real big outings to speak of, but he played Ohio State exceptionally well. He does a good job of mirroring receivers. He has extremely fluid hips. This guy, he's got great speed, probably the fastest between Gardner and my number 2. But yeah, man, I like this guy's mentality too. He wants to be a playmaker. He wants to make the big play. When he drops back into zone, you kind of see that aggressiveness too. He likes to jump routes early. Sometimes he gets caught on it. He it just happens. I would say he's kind of Jalen Johnson-esque in that. It's more calculated than just simply throwing caution to the wind. That's why we didn't see him get beat a lot last year. But big fan of Booth. I see why everyone was talking so highly of him now that I actually got to watch him. And then number 2, Kaiir Elam. Now I can actually say his name. Kaiir Elam, Andrew Booth, Sauce Gardner. I got these guys very close together. This is a special group of corners. Elam, he's up there with one of the best press corners in all of college football. He's got great length, exceptional ball skills, 5 interceptions, 12 pass breakups through 2 seasons. He's only allowed a completion percentage of 42.9. He held his own very well against Devonta Smith. He only allowed 3 receptions for 23 yards and no touchdowns to Devonta Smith. He just plays a physical brand of football when it comes to coverage, dude. He remains in the hip pockets of receivers. I wouldn't say he has elite speed. He could prove me wrong. I mean, we saw that with Surtain last year. I was flabbergasted when I saw how fast he was. But this dude's he's just a smooth athlete. Everything he does, whether it's in his breaks, when he turns his hips, he is literally just a smooth athlete. Like a hot knife going through butter. Smooth. And number 1, Derek Stingley. You already knew it was coming. Let's talk about him. The dude is a great athlete. He's a freak athlete. He's going to blow the combine up. I'm telling you this right now. He is special. A lot of people look at his sophomore season and think it was terrible. I mean, a lot of that, it was filled with injury. It was filled with an inconsistent LSU defense to begin with. I don't think that it's a fair indictment on him, because this dude is an elite athlete. He's going to be a guy that runs like a 4.3 40. He's going to have like a 42, 43 inch vert. You see his speed, you see his explosiveness, you see his acceleration, you see the size, you see the length. There's really not much to not like about Derek Stingley. Even in a down year, he allowed a completion percentage of 46.7%, 5 pass breakups. The year before, he allowed a 38.3 completion percentage, and that was on 98 targets, where he had 6 interceptions and 15 pass breakups. Let's talk about his weakness. And you might find it funny, but it's quite literally the only time you really saw him vulnerable was against Devonta Smith. I don't know what it was. I know Devonta Smith, he made a lot of people look stupid, but man, he really, Devonta Smith took advantage back in 2019, really took advantage of Stingley. And I'd like to say Stingley did a better job in 2020, but he still ended up allowing, he was targeted 5 times. He allowed 3 receptions for 44 yards and a touchdown. He had a pass breakup, but to say he played him at least better than 2019 was kind of he really got whooped in 2019. But regardless, everyone else that Stingley plays, he's essentially putting you on an island, a deserted island. There's no chance. This guy can shadow the opposing number 1 receiver every game. He's your ideal press man corner. He's wonderful. He deserves to be a top 5 pick in this class. So I guess that's it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know who you think should have been included, or maybe some guys I should check out. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.